divine culture, the realistic spirit of the Renaissance, with both sacred form and essence. For advancements in mediums and the pursuit of texture, the advantages of oil painting, artistic achievements of the Italian Renaissance had a profound impact on Northern European scholars and artists from regions such as Germany, Flanders, and France. Many traveled to Italy to study ancient artifacts and acquire new techniques and knowledge. However, fate ensured that Italy did not monopolize all artistic advancements. One essential painting technique was pioneered by Northern European artists: oil painting. Before the widespread adoption of oil painting, early Renaissance painters mainly used frescoes and tempera paintings. Tempera, made by mixing egg yolk with pigments, did not evaporate but oxidized, ensuring stability and longevity. However, tempera dried quickly, requiring painters to handle light and shadow within a short period, making texture rendering more difficult. Additionally, its colors appeared lighter when wet and darkened upon drying, making color control challenging for inexperienced artists. Furthermore, tempera could not be applied in thick layers, limiting its ability to achieve deep hues. The introduction of oil painting compensated for these shortcomings. Originating in the Netherlands, oil painting used linseed oil to mix pigments, applied to a prepared surface, typically primed with gesso on canvas or wood panels. Oil paint did not change color upon drying, allowed diverse color mixing without muddiness, and enabled artists to create vibrant, rich palettes. Its opaque nature facilitated gradual layering from dark to light, producing depth and realism. Notably, oil paint's slow drying time allowed greater refinement of light and texture, yielding finer details compared to frescoes or tempera. Early masterpieces in oil painting. The Arno fine portrait. By the 15th century, the Van Eyck brothers had perfected oil painting techniques, leading to its gradual dominance over tempera as the primary medium in Western painting. The Van Eyck brothers refer to Hubert van Eyck and Jan van Eyck, with Jan being the more renowned. Since Hubert passed away early, Jan completed his brother's unfinished works and was responsible for many of the surviving pieces. His influence on art history remains profound. Jan van Eyck, inheriting the Gothic tradition of meticulous detail, enhanced light effects using oil painting, producing astonishing realism. One of his celebrated works, the Arnolfini portrait, depicts the wedding of Giovanni Arnolfini, an Italian banker residing in Bruges, and his wife. Unlike conventional church weddings, private home ceremonies were common at the time. Van Eyck, possibly an invited witness, painted the scene to commemorate the occasion. The opulent interior reflects Arnolfini's wealthy lavish chandelier, convex mirror adorned with crystal beads, a Persian carpet, stained glass windows, and a fur-lined robe conveying affluence. The bride's shy expression embodies purity and virtue, while her gesture, placing her right hand in Arnolfini's left, symbolizes solemn unity. The one-point perspective aligns symmetrically, the vanishing point embedded within the convex mirror, which reflects the room's entire interior, including unseen elements and even the painter himself among two witnesses. Above the mirror is Van Eyck's inscription, "Jan van Eyck was here," elevating the painting beyond portraiture to a sacred documentation of marriage. Symbolic details abound. The gathered folds of the bride's dress create an illusion of pregnancy, wishing for fertility. The lit candle in the chandelier represents God's presence as a witness. The mirror signifies purity and suggests the all-seeing eye of God. The small dog symbolizes loyalty. Fruit on the windowsill has dual meanings, wishing for children and a warning against temptation. The discarded shoes in the corner imply sacred ground. The Margaret figurine above the bed is a protector of women, ensuring safe childbirth. The painting's textures are remarkably lifelike. The thickness of velvet, the curls of the dog's fur, the chandelier's metallic reflection, the glass beads, the wooden flooring, and the brick walls outside each rendered with precision that suggests tactile sensations. Despite the intricate details, the composition remains harmonious, where elements blend seamlessly under natural lighting, enhancing its serene atmosphere. Northern European precision and realism. While Italian artists excelled in human anatomy and perspective, Northern European painters surpassed them in rendering texture and materiality, thanks Two oil paints' refined application and their tradition of intricate realism. Northern climates, being harsher, fostered disciplined, meticulous artistic approaches. Northern painters obsessed over intricate details, often capturing every nuance with precision. While realism was their guiding principle, excessive details sometimes overwhelmed the main composition, diverting focus. Van Eyck skillfully avoided this, embedding details within natural light and hierarchical composition, ensuring balance. For example, in his Man in a Red Turban, the intense gaze and striking red headpiece immediately capture attention. Only after absorbing the central elements does the viewer notice minute details like wrinkles, eye reflections, facial muscles, and stubble. Similarly, the Madonna of Chancellor Roland and Madonna of Canon van der Peel transport viewers into lifelike environments where details, intricate fabric patterns, tiled floors, and distant landscapes remain vividly discernible without disrupting the whole. Other Northern artists showcased extreme precision. Rogier van der Weyden's The Descent from the Cross captures crystalline tears on grieving figures. Quentin Massey's The Moneylender and His Wife highlights the texture of the banker's skin and the gleam of coins. Hans Holbein's portraits feature impeccable fabric and objects. Albrecht, Dürer's watercolors, The Large Turf, and Young Hare exhibit layered realism, achieving strikingly lifelike textures. Northern European painters mastered texture and meticulous detail without compromising harmonious composition, a feat that solidified their legacy in art history. Italy's pioneering role in oil painting. The development of Italian oil painting. The technique of oil painting spread to Italy and quickly became a dominant artistic medium. With the natural talent of Italian painters, combined with the versatility of oil paint, elevated their craft to unprecedented levels. One striking example is Raphael's 1518 to 1519 portrait of Pope Leo X and two cardinals, where not only is the solemn dignity of the figures captured, but the surrounding objects, their robes. The items on the table are depicted with extraordinary precision. Vasari, Raphael's biographer, expressed his admiration for this masterpiece, stating, "The meticulously illustrated book appears indistinguishable from a real manuscript. The filigree silver bell is exquisitely rendered, and the polished golden orb atop the chair back reflects the window's light. The Pope's silhouette and the room's walls with absolute clarity. Every detail is painted so flawlessly that no other artist could surpass it." The advent of oil painting also encouraged new experimental techniques. Leonardo da Vinci, for instance, incorporated multiple mediums, refining oil painting with his distinct sfumato technique, which seamlessly blended tones to create soft, lifelike skin textures. Inspired by Da Vinci, Venetian painter Giorgione developed an approach that combined delicate brushwork and subtle shifts in light, accentuating Venice's rich color palette to portray the warmth of female skin. By the time of Titian, Venetian painting had reached new heights. Titian's figures often featured luminous, smooth skin rendered in warm tones, seemingly emanating heat and fragrance. Though sensual, his approach to realism represented a new dimension of artistic expression.